What's poppin', gang? Today, if you're looking for some of the best studio monitors you would want to try out, I highly recommend checking out the Kali Audio 8 IN and the LP. These speakers came out a few years ago, but let's talk about are they worth it today? And let me know in the comments what monitors are you currently using right now. If you want more content like this, go ahead and subscribe to the channel, hit that like button. So in this video, we're going to talk about three major things about these studio monitors: the design, the price, and the sound quality. Let's start off with the design. Honestly, I think these are some beautiful looking speakers, very minimalistic, and they look great here in my studio paired next to each other. If you were to get both of these speakers, they look really professional. And honestly, I really love the minimalistic look. Depending on what speakers you get, the INs are coming in a little bit 1 inch bigger than the LPs. The LP only comes with 2 speakers for the highs and the lows, while the 8 IN comes with 3 speakers for the mids, the highs, and the lows. In the back of the speaker, you have a lot of inputs that you can plug into this thing. RCA, TSR, or XLR cables, all of those will work in this speaker. You also got a volume knob and a control knob for the highs and the lows. And we're gonna talk about those highs and those lows, like if you should be adjusting those things, and a little bit more on that later. Let's talk about the price. Now the LPs, they come in at about $249, while the 8 INs come in around $398. The price difference is probably because the 8 IN comes with some powerful mid-range drivers that get you more of a clearer mid-range sound. And maybe you guys are thinking about checking out some new studio monitors that you might want to have, or maybe you're setting up a brand new setup. Lately, I've been checking out the Kali 8 LP and the IN, and both of these monitors are really great for, music production and stuff like that. Shout out to Kali Audio for sending me the LPs. I appreciate you guys. And also shout out to Z Sounds for sending me the INs. If you're liking the video so far, hit that like button. Speaking on sound, let's go ahead and jump into the sound quality. Before we talk about the sound, let's talk about our sponsor for today's video. Shout out to DistroKid, my favorite platform for uploading music on any platform. They have a really nice, simple user interface. They also give you really nice stats depending on which plan you go for. And for one payment a year, you upload an unlimited amount of songs. They also give you the opportunity to master your songs. If your song's not loud as you really want them to be, they have a great option available for you. Link in the description to get a 7% off discount. Now back to the video. So let's talk about the highs with these studio monitors. So as I stated before, with the 8 INs, these speakers come with a more powerful mid to high range driver. And listening to these speakers side by side, I can definitely tell the difference. It's not that the LPs sound bad, it's just that the 8 INs have just more of a crisper highs. Both of these studio monitors, I feel like you can get a really great mix on, especially if you have a lower budget. The 8 LPs are a really great option. But if you have a little bit of extra money to spend, I think about like $150 more, I think it's really worth it to get those high mid-range powerful drivers in the 8 INs. Next, let's talk about the mid-range. Now, I did really notice those mid-ranges with the 8 INs. They have just a little bit more detail, especially if you're making a beat. You can really hear the crack and the detail in the kicks on the 8 INs versus like with the LPs. They're not as detailed, but they still sound really great. You get a lot of that thump and that low end with the LPs, but you still get that as well with the INs, but you still hear a lot of the mid-ranges with the 8 INs as well. So the mid-range sounds so much better. I feel like it fills in that gap with the LPs speakers versus the 8 IN. It feels a little bit more flat because of those powerful mid-range drivers. Next, let's talk about the lows. Both of these monitors have really great lows, and I feel like both of them have almost kind of like the same amount of lows, to be honest. I don't feel like one of them is more punchier than the other. They both sound really good as well, especially if your room is treated, which I will talk about. The next thing is, those control knobs on the back of the studio monitors. Personally, I don't think you should rely on those. If you feel like if you turn these monitors on and you need to boost up your lows a little bit, that's a sign for sure that you need to think about your acoustic treatment. Currently in my room, I have some bass traps and some prime acoustic London 12s, which really helps the acoustic treatment in this room. Also, because of that, changing these knobs, I can really tell the difference in what those are really for, in my opinion. When you're adjusting the volume knobs on these speakers, you got to take into consideration, the size of your room, how big it is. All of those things can kind of change the sound a little bit. For me, in my particular room, it just sounded like when I adjusted these knobs, it made it sound more of like a consumer product, and it kind of lost some of the detail a little bit, regardless if I boost the highs or the lows. I wouldn't necessarily say that's a bad thing, because you're trying to mix a song and you want to hear exactly how consumers are going to hear it. You can flip one of those knobs, in my particular case, on how my room is set up. If they don't sound super great, as soon as you take them out the box, definitely make sure you treat your room, because that's going to help them sound a whole lot better. So with all that being said, you know, personally, I think these are a really great option to, you know, either upgrade your studios, maybe have some Yamaha HS8s and, you know, you were thinking about getting something else. I think the 8 INs are a really great option because they have some really powerful mid drivers that give you a flat sound. And maybe, hey, let me know in the comments if you want me to compare the 8SH between the 8 INs. You know, both of those are some really great speakers. Let me know in the comments what speakers are you currently using right now. Real quick, 2 things that help me with mixing and mastering besides these speakers. My Pro Tools template from musicgang.com. I was able to use this template here to get 3D high quality sounds for my album that I use. And the second thing I would use to help with mixing and mastering is our sponsor again, DistroKid. After I was able to use my template to get high quality sounds and everything, I use DistroKid to upload my music to every single platform that's available out there. Go ahead and check them out, link in the description. They got a lot of discounts going on right now. You guys stay safe. Peace.